How many people have we judged after hearing only one side? Someone says, he insulted me, she betrayed me, he cheated me, he abandoned us, and we just believe them. But what if there is another side? Now listen to this story. Every morning at exactly 8 o'clock, an old man sat outside a railway station with a small cloth bag in his hands. He watched every train that arrived. One day, a young man asked him, "Uncle, whom are you waiting for?" And the old man said, "My son." The young man asked, "Why doesn't he come?" The old man looked towards the railway tracks and said, "Because he believes I abandoned his mother when she was dying." The young man was shocked. "Did you?" he asked. The old man's eyes filled with tears. "No, but he heard their story before he heard mine," said the old man. Years passed. Then, one winter morning, a man in his 40s stepped off a train. The old man stood up. "Ravi," he said. The man froze. "Daddy." After years of silence, Ravi finally said, "When mother was dying, everyone told me you abandoned her. I hated you for years." His father quietly replied, "I know." "Then why didn't you come back?" The old man reached into his cloth bag and pulled out an old envelope. Inside were hospital documents, receipts, and a photograph of him sitting beside his wife in the hospital. He said, "Your mother needed an operation. I didn't have enough money, so I went to sell our land. When I returned with the money, she had already died." Ravi stared at the documents, trembling. "Then why didn't you tell me?" he said. The old man looked at him and said, "I tried." Ravi asked, "How?" "I wrote you 17 letters. Ravi's face went pale. He said, 17? "Yes, but you never received them." Suddenly, Ravi remembered something. His uncle had always told him, "Your father never contacted you. Your father never contacted you. Your father never cared for you. He never cared for you." Ravi immediately called his uncle. When his uncle arrived, Ravi asked, "Did father ever send me letters?" And the paternal uncle, his father's own brother, went silent. Ravi asked again, "Did you receive letters from my dad?" The old man's face changed. Finally, the uncle lowered his head and said, "Yes." Ravi's voice trembled again. "How many letters?" he asked. And the uncle said, 17. "Where are they, uncle?" The uncle could not look at him. And he said quietly, "I kept them." "Why?" The uncle finally confessed, "Because I wanted the property. If you believed your father had abandoned you, you would never return to him." Ravi stood speechless. 17 letters, 17 opportunities to know the truth, 17 chances to reunite a father and a son, all destroyed by one man's decision to hide the other side of the story. Ravi turned towards his father, tears streaming down his face. "Why did you keep coming to this station all these years, Dad?" he asked. The old man smiled through his tears and said, "Because I didn't know which train you would come on." Ravi fell to his knees and said, "Father, forgive me." The old man placed his hand on his son's head. "I don't blame you." Ravi asked, "Why?" The old man whispered, Because you were not cruel, my son. You were only given one side of the story. And perhaps that is the most frightening part of the story. How many people have we judged after hearing only one side? Someone says, he insulted me, she betrayed me, he cheated me, he abandoned us, and we just believe them. But what if there is another side for the story? What if there are 17 letters you have never seen? What if the person you condemned has a story you never gave them the chance to tell? Never ever make a final judgment after hearing only one side of a story. There are so many families, so many relationships getting destroyed on a daily basis because there is somebody amongst us, a manipulator who brainwashes the other party, and the brainwashed person finds a wheel on his eyes, a wheel on his ears, a wheel and a lock on his heart and mind, and he is not exposed to the reality. He doesn't listen to the other side of the story. Because of the undue influence of the manipulator, somebody like the paternal uncle in the story. I ask, I pray, I beg Almighty God to open our eyes to the truth, to help us in protecting and maintaining our relationships. My dear friends, remember, sometimes the most dangerous lie is not a completely false story. It is a true story with half the truth deliberately left out. So before you judge someone, pause and ask, have I heard the other side? Because your judgment may take only a few seconds, but it could cost someone a lifetime. Thank you for listening. I wish you all the best.